Well, there it sits, lonely and broken-hearted. It started with some major coolant leaks last fall, and I parked it, pulled the hood off it, and of course found all the leaks in the valve cover where water can get in. So now I got to change the oil, which it was due for an oil change anyway, but I can't really start it and move it because it's pretty milky in there. So I mowed the grass around it best I could. I'm gonna get my yoga mat under there and see if we can get the front corner pan off, which is just access to the radiator. Alright, time to crawl in and get some. Gonna take a spare battery with me because you know how this works. Better than I can right now, but looks like it starts. That bolt, that bolt, that bolt. I don't even know what the hell that is. Feels like a bolt. Yep. Give it a whirl. Tight down here, very tight. Oh man, that's what you call a good girl right there. Well, there it is on the ground. I'm gonna drag that stuff out and see what we got underneath. Whew. Heavy, very heavy. Get back down there and see. I'll tell you what, these bulldozers seem like they got a lot of space between the tracks. Maybe if you're a little guy, not when you're like me. We're gonna try to squeeze in here and see what's up. Well, and there's the bottom of the radiator. So what I'm probably going to do is fill it up with water and just see. I suspect, because I mean it's still kind of sort of wet there. I'm wondering if this gasket's leaking. Huh. Completely weird how that's made. Good afternoon, everybody. Hanging around here today. Thought I'd See about getting that thermostat housing out of there. One bolt broke right off. I managed to get that one out a little bit. I'm gonna put some more heat to her and see what happens. I guess we'll fix that, I guess. That's the stuff I put in the radiator called fiber lock, and just gonna put it back down in there. Yep. Alright, we'll wash them off. Still hot. Alright, very cool. I'll clean that up and see what's what. Yeah, that bucket thing ain't working out, so I'm gonna run down and grab a garden hose. Hey everybody, we filled up the oil the other day, and then today we just filled up the that's like fire I got going down back. I filled it up with water because I wanted to find out where the leak was, and sure enough there was one on the bottom of the radiator. Well, there's one on the inside somewhere too, because the dipstick is just nothing but water. You see it bubbling out of there. It ain't good. I started it up and it just started blowing right out the blow-by, so out the tube on the other side. So I've got to drain all that mess out just to get it out of there. There isn't much I can really look at. You know, at the rate water was going into this motor, I'm thinking it's got a failed liner. One of these cylinders down in here. One of the liners, either the O-ring on the bottom, or probably on the bottom, gave out. To check that, you know, you got to pull the motor. But the one thing I can do, just to eliminate it, is right here is the oil cooler. Right there's the oil cooler, and if I take that off and I test it and I find a failure, where at least I know where it's coming from, but it's going to have to be a big failure, because like I said, it didn't take long to fill the radiator up. Hey, Monday morning, and we are draining the oil out of it. It's really hard to hold the camera and do this, but as you can see, that is full of 2 days ago what was 1540 diesel oil, now is a milky substance known as nothing. So I made a pan to catch it all in, and I'm going to let that drip for a while. I'm probably going to go around the neighborhood and collect everybody's waste oil from their tractors. I know it sounds barbaric, but I have pumped water all the way through that engine, and in my mind I would really like to pump as much of it out. So when this is done drip drying, I'm going to put the plug back in. It holds 8 gallons in 2 quarts. I figure I'll get 5 gallons in it, and that'll be enough to hit the sump, pump it up through, and shut it off quickly and drain it. That's about the only thing I can think of to do until I find out what is the problem. The water went in the engine really fast. I know we have a small radiator leak right there, which that's minor compared to what we're dealing with, but about the only thing I really can do is start testing that right there, which is that's the oil cooler. I'm going to pull that off and I will pressurize it just to see if that's the problem. I'm looking for something that put water in this thing super fast. Alright, I pulled the oil cooler off on this, and I laid it upside down, filled it with water, and just waited a few seconds. No water came out of the oil. And I would be looking for a lot of water, like this would be an obvious leak. So I bolted it back on, and I guess next is we're going to get this one over here fired up behind the sawmill, get it spun around with the excavator. I know I've had it running before, but I want to make sure that it holds coolant, unlike this one, because if it doesn't, then what's the sense? But we'll see. I'll get on that in a couple weeks. So I guess we'll call this one kind of a loss on an oil change. I did get the oil back in the old girl, but here she sits. So, alright, I'll see you on the next one.